Hey everybody, this is Brian Helmick from BetweenTheLicks.com. I'm here to give you guys another free guitar lesson. And today I'm going to talk about the search for the tone. And the tone, I put in quotations because it's kind of an elusive, perhaps mystical kind of thing. And a lot of people get confused, a lot of people don't really understand what it means. And by tone, I just mean how a player inflects what they want to say through their guitar and through their equipment. And believe it or not, the equipment is lesser of importance than how you play. Because think of it this way. If you gave a cheap guitar, a cheap amp, or a substandard by most people's definition, guitar to your favorite virtuosic guitarist, they're going to be able to make that guitar, that amp combo sound pretty amazing just because they're that talented. So think of it less about what you play and more about how you play. So don't get too wrapped up with equipment. But having said that, equipment can be an important factor. And I say this because a lot of styles have their particular instruments. Blues has the Stratocaster with the single coils. Rock a lot of times uses Gibsons, perhaps a Les Paul, maybe a PRS, Paul Reed Smith. With the humbuckers, jazz often uses hollow body guitars with humbuckers in there, or perhaps not even that, perhaps acoustically. And country music players oftentimes use a Telecaster to get that twangy kind of sound. And each of these guitars has a different sound, but it's not the end-all only genre you can play it in. There's a lot of blues guys that play Telecasters. There's a lot of rock guys that play hollow body guitars. So this tone idea of having a guitar to match the style is kind of moot in some instances. But it can help you achieve a certain style, certain tone, just by emulating perhaps your favorite guitarist. So if you really want to sound like Stevie Ray Vaughan, you need to get yourself a Strat with the single coils, and you need to hook yourself up through a tube amp and push the tube amp a lot. Maybe get a tube screamer in the equipment chain there too. And the point is, you can get closer to the tone, but you're not going to be able to play like Stevie Ray Vaughan. Just like the instant you buy a hollow body guitar, you're obviously not going to be playing as well as Pat Metheny or Joe Pass or any of those famous guys. But it can help you get the tone, and that's very important to a lot of people. So equipment chain is the next thing I want to talk about. And you can probably search around the internet and find the equipment chain, or find out really what your favorite guitarist plays. So if your favorite guitarist plays a certain style of guitar, you can kind of use that as a tip into the direction that you want to sound. If they're using, a hot humbucker next to the bridge, maybe that's what you want to be doing. You want to find a guitar that's going to match that. If they're using a Mesa Boogie guitar amp, maybe you want to find something that stylistically matches that to get that tone. But you're never going to sound like them until you practice a lot and you try to emulate their style. So remember, there's quite a distinction between the two. So and I really can't say a lot about playing with their style, because that's just something you've got to learn. You can't go out and buy that. That's kind of an intuitive thing. And a lot of guitarists that end up giving up or whatever often fail, not because they can't afford a guitar, but because they can't afford the time to develop that style. That really defines who they are as a guitarist. So don't get mixed up with thinking that tone is all about equipment. It's not the case, not at all. You can take a very cheap guitar and make it sound incredible if you're talented enough. So remember, just not to get that wrapped up in it. So thank you so much. And I didn't play any guitar today because I'm just giving you a little information about tone. So moving on, there'll be more lessons, more knowledge available on the website. So check it out. Thank you a bunch.